Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to episode 4 of Bandai's Y-Wing. Okay folks, we are moving on, and all of the weathering's done, as you've seen from the last episode. So we have our base, and we are going to now lay this all out on here how we want it to be. So I need to load up the reference picture I took with the camera. Okay, so we are going to need the main parts first, so we're going to want this section, and this clay wash has probably been drying for 2 days now, so we may still get some of it come off, but we should be okay. So this piece is in here, and we want to get that down as low as possible because we are going to be burying this section. We also want the nose cone, and that will be a slight angle on there, like so. And then we're going to want the main engine pods. So we have the nose cones. So this one is here, along with a nose cone which is slightly off there, like, and a bit more. So as you can see, we are going to need to fill some of this up with sand again, so we can fill these gaps out. These were all left blank just in case we needed, or we actually covered them. So the next piece is going to be here, like so. So we want this piece, and that is in there, like so. And then we have this last bit, which I do believe we were just going to lay on the floor like so. So we have it all laid out like so. Now what we need to do, I'm not going to put the figures in for now because we're going to leave them out. What we need to do now is we need to dry brush in the direction that we want the wind, for want of a better thing, and we're going to go from this corner to this corner, so the wind is travelling in this direction, and we are going to just dry brush on the high edges some black, and then over the top of that black, once it's dry, we will dry brush a little bit of silver or aluminium to give that effect that the wind's been in sandstorms and things like that, has been biting into the metalwork and pulling it away. So what do we need? We need our big dry brushing brush. We need some tissue. Let's tidy up a little bit. Clear the decks, as they say. Put that out of the way. A piece of tissue. And then I need to go and get my two colours. So we want silver. So there's our two colours. I'm going to go really light with this because of the scale. So we can try our badger stirrer. not really used it yet. Oh, very good. I think I should have bought one sooner. Very, very good. That paint is thoroughly mixed. So, as usual, dry brushing. So, a little bit on the brush. Don't need too much. And we'll take most of it off, and then we're probably going to need to hold, so we're going this way. Pick that up. Let us push it back a little bit, make some space. Push that back a bit and we'll zoom in. Way too much stuff on this desk. So you can see we're getting that black scoring look. Paint. Oh, wrong way again. Okay folks, that is the black on, and making these look a lot grubbier and grimier. Next up will be a very, very light brushing of the chrome silver, and again we're going to use the badger stirrer to get this mixed up. Again, dip our brush and wipe the excess away. So, very, very just over the top of where we've gone with the black. So there we go. Wasn't doing much talking over that, so I apologise, but all as we have done is we've given this the look as though the wind has taken parts of this down to bare metal. It's going to look better once it's dry and once we've actually put a matte coat down over the top of this. And of course we're going to be applying some powders on there as well, and I need, once this is dry and matte coated, we're going to need to fix it into position. So we shall let all of this dry and we shall be back, so talk to you shortly. Okay folks, we have started to attach some of these pieces. We've gone and we've got this in, and it is partially buried, so if we bring this over here and zoom in, you can see we have partially buried this back end there. It's still wet, so we can still move it around and position it however it is we want it. We've also buried it along the sides and around the front, you can see, and we have also gone and we've started this section. Now we've put some sand on top, we've buried this side of the wing, like I say, we've got some on top, and we've buried the middle section where it's supposed to be broken, and we have started to bury the two men. We haven't put the R5 unit on here yet, and all as we have left to do now is attach this final piece, which will be sitting, this one's going to be a little bit more awkward because it's going to be sitting on this rock like so, with a very slight curve in it. And then I don't know what to do with this piece yet. I'm going to leave, where are you? I'm going to leave this nose cone off. I was planning originally to put it somewhere here, but I think I'm going to completely leave it off and have the piece missing from the dio. So I keep knocking this. Like so. So that is where we're up to. We need a little bit more on the back of here, and all we're doing is we're taking the buff. I've got a little cup here that I've been using, and we get a little bit into the cup like so, and let me just sprinkle it where we want it, because if we do it by hand or with the hand it just ends up everywhere, and then we can push it into the places we want it, and we then need to wet the sand to get it to blend in, and we're using, same as when we were doing the dio itself, it's just a little bit of watered down PVA in a pipette, and we're just soaking the buff with the PVA until it takes shape. So we can then get a little bit more in a cup, not too much, sprinkle over the top, because it will then soak it up like so, and there we go. And now we need to leave that to dry, so I'm not going to attempt putting this bit in because I'll just knock this bit out. So I'm going to leave that to dry for 24 hours. Let it set again. We had to go around and put some more of the bigger ballast in as well, this stuff, because we covered quite a bit of it up when we were putting the sand in here. So that's where we're up to. Like I say, I'm going to leave this to dry for 24 hours, come back and we'll get that last piece put on, and we can then start adding some dust effects, and we shall matte coat the whole thing in position. So we shall be back very shortly. Okay folks, here we are with the last part. This is now all dry and pretty much fixed in place. It's still a tiny bit soft if you push hard enough, but for the most bit it's fixed. We can't pick it up and nothing is going to fall out. A little bit of sand moving the loose stuff, but it's rock solid. Now we are looking to fix this last piece into here. So we are pretty much looking for that. Now the awkward part of this is going to be getting this bit to stick to the rocks, because there's nothing really for it to grab hold of. So I'm going to get this bit stuck in first. So we have our buff, and this stuff really does get everywhere, so be prepared to clean your bench if you use this stuff. So got some in the cup, and we want to hold this in the position we want it, which is right there, and then we need to fill up the space that we want it in. Get a little brush. Now we need a little bit more around the back. And there we go. So that is right about where we want it. Just let that go where it wants to at the minute. So now we have to wet it a little bit, and for that, as we always, we are going to use our little pipette and some watered down PVA. Now this might take a little bit of soaking in. Once it starts, it's pretty good. Okay folks, as you can see we have had to remove this part and we're going to have to let this dry in place first, because if we don't, every time we come to move this loses its position. So I'm going to leave this alone for several hours, maybe even a day, and we will be back to attach this section. So talk to you in a moment. Okay folks, so we are waiting for this section to dry, but this video is very quickly approaching 20 minutes plus, so I'm going to call it there, and I shall see you again in episode 5, which should be the last episode, because we will attach the last part of the main engine and we will add our pigments, and then it's just a quick matte coat and it is finished. So as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Be good, be safe, keep making models, and we'll catch you next time. Ta-ta.